Welcome, everyone, to Movin' Right Along, a cozy Muppet podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch A Muppet Family Christmas 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your special guest, Roz Strand.
Hey, we live in the same house.
Hey, we're sitting next to each other.
That's awesome.
Good.
It's so much. I love our life.
Yeah, me too.
And today we're watching minutes 39 and 40 of A Muppet Family Christmas, in which the Muppets sing some Christmas carols, and then they sing some more Christmas carols, and then they sing some more Christmas carols. So I do want to just talk a little bit about just the concept of this carol sing sequence that we're getting into. On our copy that we're watching of this special, the carol sing starts at this 37-minute and 50-second mark, and it goes until about the 45-minute and 10-second mark. So that is 7 minutes and 20 seconds of the special that is devoted to nothing but the carol sing, which is actually not quite as long as I thought it would be. Like, if you had asked me, I would have said, at least 10 minutes. But
Agreed.
it's still, if I've done the math right, which I'm actually not confident about at all, but if I've done the math right, the Christmas Carol sing takes up 15.5% of the whole special. So that is not insignificant. But I guess at this point, Jim Henson and his colleagues are just like, we have created some of the most popular characters in the world. We can do whatever we want. If we want to have them sing Christmas songs, some of which are very obscure, for 7.5 minutes, that's what we're going to do.
Well, music had always been so associated with the characters.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like, if these were characters who didn't sing on their TV shows all the time, this would feel strange. But it doesn't, because they do.
Right.
Yeah. Also, having the long-running family Christmas carol, Let's All Sing Along, this was really popular for a long time. It still is.
We do it at my parents' house.
We do it at your parents' house, but I mean, also on TV.
Yeah.
You have musical specials and a lot of things like that. So it doesn't feel out of place to me. Also, I think that they do enough cuts and enough interesting stuff with the music that I'm going to say the opposite. I don't think that 7 minutes is nearly enough.
You want it to be longer.
This whole montage doesn't technically start out with a Christmas carol, guys.
Oh, no?
Oh, no.
Well, so the other thing I was going to say, though, before we get into the first song, is that it's interesting to me that a lot of these are pretty obscure, and it kind of seems like they were trying to stay away from overtly religious Christmas carols.
Although there are certainly a few that have religious lyrics.
Yeah, but there's nothing about, like, the, baby Jesus or the wise men, or, like, you don't hear Away in a Manger or Silent Night.
But we're going to hear Following Yonder Star.
That's true.
We're going to hear Gloria in Excelsis Deo.
Yeah.
I think that they use pretty religious songs. They just don't sing the whole thing.
Yeah, right. That's true.
I mean, if you got any farther into any of these songs, then you would hear, like, a lot of them are Christian songs.
Right.
Yeah, so it does seem to me that there was a choice was made to not
go further
the religious parts, to not get too religious with it.
Yeah,
and also, like, they could have done Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Up on the Housetop or some other, like, well-known completely secular Christmas songs, and they didn't do that either. So
I think this would be so much worse if it was just like those children's classic favorites. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be as memorable.
Right. And there's also
the song choices are very odd.
The whole scene with, like, all the Muppets gathered in this cozy farmhouse around a fire, it does sort of lend itself to more old-fashioned sounding songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think they made good choices all around. But
yeah, and they varied it. It's not just modern, relatively 20th century songs. We've got some really old carols.
Some of them are very old, yeah.
Tunes. You've got some very modern tunes. You've got some secular. You've got some that are religious carols. I think that it's a good mix. It's a good variety. It's a good carol sing. If you're gonna design one,
yes,
then you should model it somewhat after the Muppets.
As carol sings go, it's a good one.
As carol sings go, follow this outline for a successful carol sing at your next holiday event.
Okay, I will.
So we pick up at the beginning of this clip. Ralph starts playing the piano and he's singing Happy Holiday. Wikipedia tells us, that's the one, that this was composed by Irving Berlin. It says during 1942 and published the following year. I'll take their word for it.
But it's in Holiday Inn.
Right, this was in the movie Holiday Inn.
Which came out in 1942. So maybe the sheet music just wasn't published until later or something, but...
I don't know. And I perhaps should be ashamed to admit that I've never seen Holiday Inn, but I should remedy that.
Like, the thing that... And you will often hear this about Holiday Inn, is that for 95 out of 100 minutes, it is a delightful and entertaining film. On President's Day, or on Lincoln's birthday, they do a blackface number.
Oh.
And
they do it like rough, like they are insulting.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where I think it's supposed to be enlightened for the time, because it's all about how like noble it was that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, right? But it's one of those things where that's a movie that I mostly enjoy very much. I can't imagine ever sitting my children down and being like, let's watch Holiday Inn.
No, like, you know what I mean? Not until they're teenagers, at least. I assume, right. To understand the context. Yeah. Wow.
So it's really too bad. Otherwise, a delightful movie, but cannot recommend. Sorry.
Yeah, too bad. No, but it has Happy Holiday in it, so
it has. I mean, it has Easter Parade. It's where White Christmas was introduced.
Yeah. Right.
It's a shame that it's so tarnished, but it really is tarnished. Like,
there's a stage version now, which obviously has no blackface number.
Oh,
so
goodness.
That's probably an improvement. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but it's just hard because even just knowing that this song came from it. I mean, other people have done the song, and it's one of these lovely secular songs that were made for around the holiday season.
Well, you say the holiday season because
it's become that,
but because you're thinking of the Andy Williams version where he mixes the Happy Holiday lyrics with "It's the holiday season."
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Which is a different song by somebody else that like they're a medley.
But I enjoy that one very much because he says "hoop-dee-doo" and "dickory-dock." That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's good.
It's also just great in this whole scene to see this big crowd of Muppets from the different properties just hanging out together. So there are two main shots that they cut between during the carol sing. There's one where you can see Prairie Dawn, Floyd, Bunsen, the Swedish Chef, a rabbit, a penguin, some rats. Doc is in the back there, the one human in the room. Waldorf, Statler, Pops, Ma Bear, Grover, Scooter, Robin, Kermit, Piggy, Marvin Suggs, some Muppaphones, New Zealand, Fozzie, Elmo, more rats, Simon Soundman, more penguins, the two-headed monster, Beauregard, a random anything Muppet lady, which, nice that she's there. Nice that she got an invitation.
Front billing,
no,
too.
I like her. She looks like Mrs. Bakerman from the Bob Newhart Show.
Sure. I like her, too.
She just needs her knitting.
Yeah, right?
Another rabbit, a chicken, and the turkey. So
that was highly impressive. I would have never had the patience to figure that out. I'd be like, yeah, and there's Kermit and some other Muppets.
And a bunch of other Muppets.
And that's good.
Well, I'm sure I missed some, so I'm sure our listeners will tell me who I missed in that shot, but it's just fun to see them all.
Listeners, if you tell Ryan what he got wrong, at least compliment him for trying to get it right. So few of us would. That is true tough pig professionalism, right?
Is that what it is?
Well, if you like that, you're going to love my next note, which is that the other angle of the house that we see is Sam the Eagle, Cookie Monster, Biff, Sully, the two-headed monster again, Guy Smiley, Forgetful Jones, Bert, Ernie, the turkey again, some rabbits, a honker, Big Bird, and several assorted Sesame Street Grouches and monsters.
Yep, you're right. I loved it. Good job.
So then Scooter takes the lead for the first lines of Ding Dong Merrily on High. Here's what Wikipedia says about this one. The tune first appeared as a secular dance tune under the title Branle de l'Official in Orchestrography. I should have practiced this before I said it out loud on the podcast.
You got to learn French before you.
I should learn French before I do a podcast. Yes, a dance book written by the French cleric, composer, and writer Jean Tabarot. The words are by the English composer George Ratcliffe Woodward, and the carol was first published in 1924 in the Cambridge Carol Book, being 52 songs for Christmas, Easter, and other seasons.
So let's talk about the fact that this tune existed. The melody is from the 1500s,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So the tune existed for like 400 years without the like glow. Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Like, it just
then
seems like it's one thing.
Mr. Woodward then heard the tune and was like, "Oh, I have some good lyrics to go with this 400-year-old melody."
Yeah.
Yeah. You can definitely hear a harpsichord playing this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can hear the high heels clicking on the parquet floors with the big white wigs. That's exactly what this tune brings to mind for me. It's just like, hoity-toity, we're all going to dance with our hands in the air. But then you add the lyrics from the 1920s, it becomes something totally different. Just this amazing Christmas carol. I love singing this song. This is one of my favorite carols to sing.
Well, so the Gloria, that part is reminiscent also of Angels We Have Heard on High,
Yes.
which has a different, now I can't think how it goes melodically, but it's also Gloria.
I can't start it from the middle. It's angels.
Oh, it's Gloria. Yeah, so
In excelsis Deo.
yeah, very similar to this. And I just wanted to note that we have a tradition in my family when we go to the Christmas Eve church service, which always includes Angels We Have Heard on High, where we all try to sing the entire first verse and through the first Gloria on one breath. Like we take a deep breath before we start singing and then try to get all the way through it. But because you're in church, you can't be like, I did it in one breath. So we have to just like, silently give the thumbs up or like nod our head vigorously to indicate that we did it successfully.
That is a fun game.
So listeners, there's something fun you can do when you go to church and sing that song.
On this one, the Glorias are taken over by the chickens.
Yes.
Well, that shot of the chicken flying
Flying up, it's just like an angel, right?
Yeah, sure. I just always loved that. Like as a
Yes.
kid, that was like one of my favorite things in this.
Yeah, it's like a visual representation of the notes of the song going up. It's this chicken ascending to the top of the banister of the staircase.
I also like while the chickens are singing, this is the song that we get to go back to the Fraggles on. And this is the song that convinces the Fraggles to come up and join. They've already been singing for a little bit, but they're just like, oh man, chicken singing Gloria. I got to be part of this.
Let's go see,
Let's go see, eh?
Right. So this is the one that catches the Fraggles' attention. The Fraggles are constantly singing themselves, so this doesn't seem like it would be that exotic to them, but I guess they've never heard these particular songs before and they just want to know more about it.
They don't know Latin.
Well, that's true. Yeah, as far as we know, they don't know. They don't know what an excelsis Deo
Write a
means.
language derived from, if not Latin. You tell me that, Strand.
I don't know. The terrible tunnel.
One of those stone cutting doozers used to know Latin. I believe that.
Could
that
be, yeah.
That might be true. The old ways still are true.
And yeah, so Red says, "What's that?" Wembley says, "It's pretty," and Gobo says, "Let's go see, eh?" Because Gobo is Canadian.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Like that Gobo gets to drop "Let's Go See," in
Yes.
this movie, in this special.
Got just enough CanCon in there for you.
It is CanCon.
It is
Yeah.
totally CanCon.
I mean, Doc's Canadian
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about it though.
What does CanCon mean?
Canadian content. There used to be rules, broadcasting rules that Canadian programs had to have a certain amount of Canadian specific content. This is called CanCon, and that's why the Bob and Doug McKenzie sketches on SCTV exist. They were like a parody of like, well, if we got to have CanCon, okay, it's just like two guys calling everybody hosers, drinking beers, wearing toques.
Huh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's funny. I did not know that. Well, then the next thing we hear is delivered by another Jerry Nelson character, because the next song in the carol sing is "I Saw Three Ships," and of course they give the lead on this to the Count. This is a traditional English carol which first appeared in print in 1833. The Count would later sing the same song in a segment from Elmo's Christmas Countdown with Ty Pennington.
No. He sang it with your buddy Ty Pennington, because you went to a taping of Extreme Makeover Home Edition or whatever.
I was in the crowd when Kermit was a special guest on Extreme Makeover Home Edition, and
Yeah.
they did the
That's
shot
when you
where they moved the bus. Yes, I was in the crowd.
That's when you became best friends with Ty Pennington, the Count's duet partner.
I
on
did
this
not
song.
see Ty Pennington. Was he on the show the whole time? I mean, I assume he was.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, mostly I was there just to see Kermit stick his head out of the window of that bus, and I did. So then I was
And he
satisfied.
yelled, "Move that bus!"
Yes, I was there. We all yelled, "Move that bus!" If you go back and watch that episode, you can hear me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hear
No.
you specifically.
You can't hear
Yeah.
me.
Very distinctive.
Yeah.
I think that now they're required to yell out, "Pay those taxes."
I don't think that show's on anymore.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because they needed to yell out, "Pay those taxes."
Yeah. But anyways, what else about I Saw Three Ships? It's perfect for the Count. It's a number song.
Yeah. Well, that's why he did it again on Elmo's Christmas Countdown, where like. I don't know. I didn't go back and watch this to double check, but if I remember right, the Count keeps like increasing the number of ships that he saw come sailing in, and Ty
Yes.
Pennington
Yeah.
has to keep
And so-
running back and
that-
forth, bringing in more ships.
That sketch is really, really cute.
Yeah, it's good.
Because it's all different kinds of ships, and Ty is getting exhausted trying to find enough ships.
Mm.
Yeah, well, he's building them. I
he's
think,
building
is
them.
the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm impressed that they went with this for the Count. I know that they, they're trying to get a good mix. So it's nice to have this old carol, but not to have him doing the 12 Days of Christmas at all.
Yeah.
In this entire special, it takes a lot of restraint because they could have just had him in the background singing it constantly. They could have like made it a joke because he could be popping up in a bunch of scenes, just adding a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does count snowflakes and stuff.
Yeah, he
That's
counts
true.
snowflakes, but
And worried frogs.
and he's still being true to himself. But they could have used 12 Days of Christmas, which
Right.
everybody knows is a really long song about counting that drags on and on.
Yes.
And
too
the
long.
count could have been, there was a joke in there, and I kind of feel like somebody mentioned that whenever they were writing this,
Mhm.
and somebody said, "Nah, we're just gonna do 3 ships."
It would have been like when the Count keeps trying to sing that "Bats Hanging in My Belfry" song on the Bert and Ernie sing-along record, and they keep
Yeah.
interrupting him and pushing him into the shower and stuff to make him stop singing that song.
But
Yeah.
I can picture him like popping up in scenes of this and be like, 134 bats are flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would've been fun.
133 candles glittering or something like
Yeah.
that. And like just going on and on and on, and it being another running gag.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It does speak to like the restraint we were talking about, that they're not doing the obvious songs. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not a writer, and that's what I think of. So
Right.
it's probably best that they didn't
Well,
do that.
I think in a very like, it's easy to imagine like a newer version of this.
Yes.
If it was like like that's a no disrespect to either of those guys who are both very talented, but that's like a very Joey Mazzarino-y or Kirk Thatcher-y joke, more so than a Jerry Jewell joke, I feel.
Well, I'm trying to think. Like, I know that they did 12 Days of Christmas on one of the Sesame Street records in the 70s. Did the Count appear on that track?
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
Hardhead Henry Harris
They
does.
just... That's true. Hardhead Henry Harris got 4 baby frogs. Is that...
Baby frogs, yeah.
What kind of jive present is that?
So this really has never happened. The Count has not done 365 Days of Christmas as a joke.
I don't think so, yeah.
Maybe they just figure, like, if the Count starts singing the song, they're gonna... Like, he's gonna have to sing the entire song by himself. And
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can't do that in this. Carol,
Yeah.
there's
No,
time.
no.
But
So
that's
anyway.
interesting. Yeah.
I saw 3 ships from the 17th century instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Is a
Yeah.
great idea. This is when those songs, a lot of these songs are like, people know the first 2 verses and that's it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. No, nobody knows this whole song.
This one, I think it's like the first 2 lines, right? It's I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, and what was in those ships, all 3.
Yeah, well,
And then that's it.
that's the
Yeah.
first 2 verses.
Oh,
all
I
the
suppose
verses,
so, yeah.
all the verses follow that.
Yeah.
But then all the verses after that talk about Jesus Christ sailing into Bethlehem.
Is that right?
Yeah, which is weird because it's completely a landlocked city.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the Count like leading the enthusiastic crowd in this song, though.
Yeah.
You know, like the Count will get the like what was in the ships all three, and then the whole crowd is on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day.
Yeah, he's having a great time. The other thing was Muppet Wiki says that this song is performed in the closing medley of the bizarre TV special, A Special Sesame Street Christmas, but I have no memory of it being there. So
I don't know. Does Ethel Merman sing it? I hope.
is Ethel Merman in that closing medley? Leslie Uggams is for
probably
sure.
not. Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
This song is perfect for the Count, though, because it's super redundant.
Oh, yeah.
If you keep going into the lyrics, it's just various populations either singing or ringing.
Yeah.
So you either got a soul singing or an angel ringing or, you know, something else ringing or singing in the exact same 4 lines.
Yeah.
So they were right to cut it off.
Sure.
And what was in those ships, all 3, it doesn't matter anyway. It's just the same old thing over and over again. Yeah. But the Count loves redundant stuff. So
Yeah,
I like to think that he's just like, oh, I wanted to keep singing and ringing.
Nope, gotta get to the next song.
Speaking of
Which is, started by Gonzo, and it's Good King Wenceslas. The melody of this one dates back to a 13th century carol called Tempest Adest Floridum, or Easter Time Has Come, with lyrics written by John Mason Neal in collaboration with Thomas Helmore in 1853. So once again, hundreds of years in between the melody being written and the lyrics being added.
So let me get this right. Are you saying that the words are by 2 English guys and the music is Scandinavian?
The melody dates back to a 13th century, I don't know, Tempest Adest Floridum?
No. It's from Phineas and Ferb. It's just from Phineas and Ferb, Brian. There's a joke in the Phineas and Ferb Christmas episode about Buford says that the words are by an English guy, the music's Scandinavian. So finding out that the words are by two English guys.
But it messes up the flow because Baljeet is yelling at Buford for changing the words. And he's like, you're ignoring the historical context. And Buford is just like,
I know all about that.
I know all about that song. And then he turns all the lyrics into being about the song in a really fun meta twist.
Yeah, it's great. What a great show.
Let's do a podcast about that next.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
Welcome to 104 Days of Summer Vacation, a Phineas and Ferb podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good job.
Let's do it.
That was great.
We should.
Okay.
We called it.
We actually should.
Yeah, so this song, of course, is, we heard Fozzie and the Swedish Chef singing it earlier in this very special.
It's the second. It's the only song that's performed twice.
That's true, yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this is what Bean Bunny sings when he attempts to go Christmas caroling at Ebenezer Scrooge's house in The Muppet Christmas Carol.
And there's a lot, like a full instrumental version on that soundtrack by the Muppet Busker Band.
Is that on the soundtrack album?
It is.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And it makes perfect sense for that because the song is about taking pity on the poor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And even though it's about Good King Wenceslas, it's like, here's a very rich white dude who actually gives money to the poor, and you should do it too.
Scrooge.
Like almost the last line of the actual carol is, now everybody should do this.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for Scrooge, but it's a really pretty song too.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that Gonzo is singing it.
I don't know most of the words of it, but I like it.
Again, nobody knows most of the carol.
Yeah, I know the first verse.
Yeah, most people know the first verse. It seems like Wenceslas is going to give money to this guy, but instead it's actually about Wenceslas walking to churches through the snow to give alms to many, many churches, which is rumored he actually did this as a duke.
A real person.
And he would walk through this snow, this Bohemian duke, and give alms to all the area churches rather than taking a horse or cart. He walked there as tribute to what Christ suffered. So that's actually what it's about. I don't know if Gonzo knows that, but
no. You obviously know a lot about Christmas carols, so I'm really glad that we had you on for this whole sequence.
Almost as if it was planned.
Sharing your knowledge with us. But my question is, what is Gonzo wearing? Is this like a smoking jacket? It looks like it would be very fashionable in the 70s, which I guess is in character for Gonzo, but...
Yeah, it's pretty cute. I like how I
It's
love
kind of
Gondola
shiny.
too,
Like at least the shirt
Yeah.
underneath the jacket is very shiny, and it has a tie. And
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually a smoking jacket. Might be a dinner jacket.
dinner
I
jacket.
have
I have no idea
Sure.
what the difference is.
yeah. I know that you know the difference between a polo and a t-shirt.
I do.
Yep. That's
Well-
about it.
That's it.
Love you.
So the camera then pans across the whole room, and we see everyone singing except Oscar, who is not singing. He's just looking disgusted, which is fantastic. Also, I noticed that we have like a really clear view of one of the Muppaphones, and we can see the entire arm sock, and it's like it's really weird.
Whoa.
Like, so it's the Muppaphone head, like it's pink or orange maybe, and then it looks just like it has a long black snake body, which is just a little bit unsettling because we usually think of them as being disembodied heads.
Right.
So that was
I
weird.
did not catch that at all.
But I think that's one of those things where there's just so many puppets in there.
Oh yeah, so much to look at.
It's one of those forest for the trees
Right,
situations.
exactly, yeah.
Like you can take in all the details or you can take in the whole. But what a cool catch.
Yeah. So then Janice and Floyd start singing The Holly and the Ivy. Wikipedia says this about this song. The song can be traced only as far as the early 19th century, but the lyrics reflect an association between holly and Christmas, dating at least as far as medieval times. The version, which is now popular, was collected in 1909 by the English folk song collector Cecil Sharp from a woman named Mary Clayton. So that's the information I have on that song. Any other notes on the Holly and the Ivy?
You love this one.
This is my favorite song in their medley. I love this song. I don't think that it gets sung enough, and I think that it's because it's just one big stretch of a simile.
Yeah.
But the song is really pretty. It's such a pretty song.
It is.
And hearing Janice and Floyd sing it makes it even prettier because it's that juxtaposition between her sweet little lyrical Richard voice and Floyd being his gravelly old man voice. And also, not only are their voices always so lovely together because they contrast, but also their clothes on this contrast amazingly. Like she's in shiny satin-lined velvet 80s dress, and he's wearing a flannel shirt that he must have gotten from Pearl Jam or something. They're really cute, and they sing it so lovely.
Yeah, the costumes in this whole special are really just the best.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then Doc joins in, which I really like. How
Yes.
enthusiastically Doc, because like Doc sings this like he remembers singing it in church as a little kid.
Yeah.
Or something. You know, he just has like such gusto, like I got this one.
Of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. He does that big bass voice.
Yeah.
14 octaves lower than what I just did. Or something close to that.
Yeah, and not a perfect singing voice, but you can't fault him, he's given it all he's got.
In a carol sing, no one needs to be perfect. You just need to have a lot of love.
Right.
This song, though, is really funny because it's very Christmassy. Again, that association between holly and having a Christmas feel to it. But it's just a long string of similes between how Mary is like the holly and the ivy.
The Virgin Mary?
The Virgin Mary, how the flowers are born from this tree. Well, Mary bore a son. How the holly has a sharp thorn, and how Christ bore sharp thorns at Easter. So that's all it is. But then you keep coming back to the chorus, which is what people actually know. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer. That's the chorus. So that's what everybody knows. And everybody forgot the actual religious pieces in it, so that it just becomes this happy, pretty Christmas tune.
About holly and ivy.
About holly and ivy. So anybody who listens to this is probably just like, oh, I could sing that any given day of the year. And it's just, again, people just don't know the verses anymore.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So they sort of a stealthy religious carol in this case.
Yeah, I think that's why I thought of all of these as religious, because
You've sung them entire.
You've sung the entire, like all the verses and everything.
Yeah, I grew up in a church that if there were 8 verses, you sang 8 verses. And if there were 10 or 12 verses, you still sang them. And it's not always good. I'm not advocating for this, but it did give me a lot of background on the songs that you sing, because whenever the verses get taken out, then the meaning gets taken out.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to shove all of these into a 7-minute carol, yeah, you can't go through all 8 versions of the Holly and the Ivy plus every chorus in between. That's not happening.
Right. Yeah, nor would anyone
Let's
want you
just
to.
enjoy Doc belting it out low.
Yes, and
I love
as
it.
Doc is doing that, this is when Red, Moki, Gobo, Boober, and Wembley peek out from behind this piece of furniture behind Doc. They seem delighted to witness the sing-along that's happening. Such a cool thing that they have come out right behind Doc and Sprocket. So it's like the whole Fraggle Rock gang together in one shot. Because also, who else is there? Uncle Traveling Matt. He's just like sitting there in the middle of everything.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he made it.
Yeah, so Traveling Matt seems to notice the other Fraggles. Like, he kind of looks up. Like, I think he sees them. But it's not clear whether Doc sees the other Fraggles. Or, like, I'm not sure if Doc even notices Matt.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Sprocket sees them.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just so
Doc
caught
just
up in the
seems to be,
song.
like gently petting his head a little bit.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Doc leans forward and, like, scritches, what's his name? Sprockets on the head. Yeah.
He scritches Sprocket. That's a good word, Ryan. Scritches.
Scritches. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. It's just like, oh, look at all these Fraggle Rock characters together.
Yeah.
And, you know, even if Doc did see them, he might just assume that they're more of Kermit's weird friends. So this might have been fine. Like,
Yeah, but they did lie earlier. They weren't all there. The Fraggles joined halfway through the medley.
right. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess has Traveling Matt just been out continuing to explore outer space, and he just happened to stumble upon Emily Bear's house while this party was happening and just kind of invited himself in?
I guess so.
He might have been on the sled.
He might have been. He was in those pieces of luggage.
Yeah, I hope so.
Either that or he walked in with Jerome, guys. That's what happened.
He was hitchhiking and Jerome picked him up.
The other day, I saw a very long metal beast with a silly creature inside. I don't know. I don't know, man.
That's it.
Investigating, we found a strange path marked by millions of little depressions in this white fluffy ice-like substance, which led to a bear's house.
Knows what a bear is,
but not snow.
but not snow.
Yes, that's what just happened. Accepted.
That sounds par for the course for
Yes,
Traveling
it
Matt.
does. Yes, it does.
Then Fozzie puts his hand on his mom's hand and meaningfully looks at her and sings, "I'll be home for..." And that is the end of this clip, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out what Fozzie will be home for.
He'll be home forever because he's moving in.
I'll be home for the weekend. I'll be home for a few months. I'll be home.
This part reminds me of you and your mom.
Aw,
Yeah. Well, I said earlier that Fozzie and his mom remind me of me.
you did, yes.
But Fozzie tenderly touching his mom's arm and like granting her favorite wish, at least for your mom.
I'll
be home, and she'll be like, "No, don't say anything else. You'll be home. That's all I want."
Aww. Yeah. Aww.
It's true.
Nice.
It is. It is.
It
Yeah.
is. She's so happy whenever you're home.
It's true. It's all
Yeah.
true.
Well, we should wrap things up for today, but any final thoughts on the 2 minutes that we have just watched before we go?
No, I have said them all.
Everybody, I encourage you to go out and sing all the verses of ancient carols at least once in your life.
Yes, look them all up, discover what they mean.
Yes, and then sing them with gusto out on your porch or back patio for everyone to hear. It's a good experience for everybody, and it's just fun. It's just fun to sing 12 verses of a really old carol.
What could be
Really
more
makes this
fun?
fun for me. I don't know. Let me know if that is also something you find fun.
So with that, we will wrap up for today. Please join us again tomorrow for another episode and more carols on Movin' Right Along. Bye.
Ding dong merrily on high.
In heaven the bells are ringing.
I forgot how it goes.
It was funny.